Welcome to In the Community with Tiffany K.
And we're back with another In the Community this week. I'm Tiffany K, and I have some very special people in the studio with me. I actually got to meet them during a big fashion show that happened earlier this year where we got to raise some money for Gwyneth's Gift Foundation. And I have Jennifer and Joel. Jennifer is the president and founder of Gwyneth's Gifts, and Joel is the chairman and founder. How are you guys doing this morning?
We're doing awesome. Thanks for having us this morning.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming in. Now, I got to hear a little bit of y'all's story when I first met you, and I was very touched by it. And so I thought it was such an important story to get out there, and your mission to all of our listeners to help them get involved however they can and bring awareness to these important situations. So I'm going to just start it off. I want you to introduce me to Gwyneth's Gifts Foundation and tell me what is your mission. And either one of you can go ahead.
Wonderful. Well, again, thank you for having us this morning. So Gwyneth's Gift Foundation is a local nonprofit based here in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and it is our mission to raise awareness about the importance of cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, and the use of automated external defibrillators, AEDs.
And how did the creation of this happen? Because I know a little bit of the story, but I, of course, want you to say it in your own words.
Well, again, thank you. So Gwyneth's Gift Foundation came into fruition back in 2015. The foundation was founded in honor of our oldest daughter, Gwyneth. Gwyneth was a vibrant, happy, loving young lady who went to school one day, and while running around the track on the field, she collapsed. Gwyneth subsequently passed away because after collapsing, no one was there to deliver immediate and sustained CPR. She was down for several minutes. The first person to come to the scene to deliver that CPR was her father, who happened to be at an adjacent elementary school that day. After leaving the school, we went to the hospital. We did everything that we could and spent 7 weeks in the hospital repairing the organs that were affected by this collapse. Unfortunately, she suffered a devastating and unrecoverable anoxic brain injury because of the time that had passed without oxygen to her brain. And when someone goes into cardiac arrest, that clock starts immediately. The brain actually begins to die within 4 to 6 minutes. And so if someone is not there to keep that heart pumping the oxygen to the brain, it's difficult to fix the injury that can occur to the brain.
Unfortunately, with the advancements of medical science, we've made progress in so many different areas, but unfortunately, the brain remains one of those medical mysteries that they're still trying to come up with scientific ways to save the brain. But in instances where you have an unrecoverable anoxic brain injury or brain death, there is no recovering from that. And so CPR, pumping that oxygen-rich blood to the brain, is really the only chance someone has of survival. And as Jennifer said, after 4 to 6 minutes, their chance of full recovery diminishes rapidly.
Well, one, I'm so sorry for your guys' loss. But I find it so inspiring that you are using this story to help bring about awareness of CPR and AEDs in schools. And I'll be honest, growing up, I learned CPR at one point when I was in Girl Scouts years ago, but it's never retaught. And I think it is a skill that should be taught and just kind of in the back of your mind for anybody out there, because you never know when you have a situation, you don't know a person on the middle of the street who happens to collapse or something like that. So the work that you are doing is very important. And to bring about that story and have it inspire this is amazing. So thank you so much for what you guys do as well. We've been talking about the Gwyneth's Gift Foundation, and I know that there is a Gwyneth's Law. Like I said, I've done my research. Not being a stalker, I've done my research. Can you guys tell me exactly about that and how it came about?
Sure. Again, Gwyneth was that kind of young lady. She had a smile to share with you. She would give you her coat off of her back. So she was about caring and compassion for anyone and everyone. So for us, it made sense in her honor that we needed to do something. And that something was, first of all, to make sure that this didn't happen to anyone else. So while we were sitting in the hospital, we were talking about what lasting impact could we do and make so as to ensure the people in schools were aware of how to deal with a cardiac emergency.
Right.
And that's where the idea for Gwyneth's Gift came to fruition. And we went straight from the hospital that fall to meeting with legislators and the American Heart Association. And we said, we want to make this happen. And so within 9 months, we had the law passed. The law requires that teachers receive hands-only CPR training as part of their certification process. It suggested that AEDs were available in all schools, elementary, middle, and high schools, because at the time it was only required to be in high schools because of the athletic programs. So we wanted to make sure that they were available in all schools. And then the third component was about the students. It was students that day that took control about the situation. And it was the idea that we wanted to change the negativeness behind CPR, and we wanted to train more people so that there would be more people within the community willing, capable, and knowledgeable on what to do to save someone in cardiac arrest. So that third component was training the students in hands-only CPR, and that became a graduation requirement as well.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're happy to report a couple of things. First and foremost, we worked with the local officials initially to discuss the idea of getting the CPR training, but we wanted to make sure that the law was not just for our local community but across Virginia. And so every school teacher in Virginia is now required to have CPR training at some point over the course of the year. We're encouraging it when they do their back to school initiatives. So we're encouraging that, and we're happy to report that the students received the training very, very well. They're very excited about getting the training. Gwyneth's friends were the first to tell us that I would have done something if I had known what to do, and we've seen that echoed across the trainings that we're doing in the community, but also from the seniors that we talk to, that they're so excited to get the training. And then one last piece on the law, we've continued to monitor the law over the past 10 years, and we're excited to announce that in January of this year, we worked with Senator McPike's law to create AED requirement in every school. So it's no longer a suggestion or encouragement. It is now a requirement for AEDs in every school. And there's also, for those schools that may not have access to the funding to purchase one, there's also funding for a grant that they can apply to get the defibrillators in every school. So we wanted to make sure that Gwyneth's memory was not one of that day, but one that is her personality and her life of giving and compassion. And so training these teachers, training these students, and getting defibrillators in the schools across the state, it's just something that was very important to us.
And the way you both went about it is the perfect way. I feel like when you're going about something like that, you hit the main things that need to happen. Education is number one. If you don't know how to use the technology, there can't be anything done with it. But then going to the resources, having it be in every school. I grew up in Ohio, so I did not grow up in Virginia, but I remember being in schools that didn't have those, or teachers didn't know exactly what that was. So I would love to see this go on a broader scale to be required in all states. But the fact that you're able to do it here, and you've just announced that you were able to get that where it's required in all schools to have an AED is a big feat already. So congratulations to both of you. That's amazing. And I'm speaking with Jennifer and Joel with the Gwyneth's Gift Foundation. Now, could you share kind of like how, or some of the events and different ways that you've been able to have this foundation funded and bring awareness to the local community, and how they've gotten involved?
Yeah, so Gwyneth's Gift Foundation was started after we passed the law, and the foundation was a continuance of the idea that we wanted to make sure that everyone was being trained. So the law focuses on the schools, the foundation focuses on our community.
Okay.
And so we have trained close to 20,000 private citizens in how to perform hands-only CPR and the use of a defibrillator. We've also handed out over 115 defibrillators across the Commonwealth as well. And all of these services are free of charge. So we don't charge for the training. We don't charge for the defibrillators. There's an application process that, we were trying to make sure we get the defibrillators to the right locations. But we also offer an awareness program and scholarship program for Stafford seniors. So the foundation is all of our services as a nonprofit are free to the community. So we encourage everyone to reach out to us for training, for defibrillators, for information about CPR. And all of this is funded through events like our Whiskey Business event, which we have coming up. We also have an annual Mom Prom, which is a huge women's only event that's been pretty popular in the community. And then periodically we will do golf outings with Virginia Department of Transportation. We've also had guest bartender events where we've partnered with organizations like the Fred Nats, who have been a huge supporter of ours. So we're always out in the community. We're always looking for initiatives to increase the funding, but we also take donations. So we like to look at time, talent, and treasure. Anyone that we talk to, they are a valuable resource to the organization. In their time volunteering, their time supporting us, working the concession stand, standing in awareness booth, any of those things, their talent of helping us, build out all of the initiatives that we have to run. And then their treasure, of course, donations are what makes the foundation work.
And how can businesses or just individuals get involved besides the donation? Like, where do they need to go? And also, my other question that was follow-up, how has their community been receiving of it? Very open-minded, I'm sure, very much wanting to jump in and help.
So very much so. We work with businesses, we work with civic organizations, grassroots organizations, churches, Boy Scouts groups, Girl Scout groups, anyone in the community that is willing and able to learn how to do hands-only CPR, we are willing and able to come out and train them.
Yes.
And so we will go to a location of their choice. They can come to us if that's necessary.
Okay.
Because we do have space that's available for training in-house.
Okay.
And an individual would just simply reach out to us on our website, gwynethsgift.org, and request training there. Or there's a phone number on the website as well. We have individuals who work for Gwyneth's Gift that focus just on our program, so you will get one-on-one attention. We will make sure that the time that you request works for us, and if it doesn't, we can schedule you out into the future, but we will deliver training to you at your location or our location. And again, as I said, that's businesses, organizations. The community has done a phenomenal job. As Joel mentioned, we've trained over 19,000 individuals since inception.
That's amazing.
And we have a goal every year that we set, and I think since inception we have aimed and surpassed our yearly goals.
Oh, wow.
So we are continuing to move forward with increasing that number. As far as AEDs, that is a separate application process, as Joel mentioned. Again, you can go to our website, gwynethsgift.org, to download an application, and it's simply submit the one-page application with information. Who are you? Where are you located? How many individuals do you service? And what is your distance to the local hospital? Because as we mentioned in Gwyneth's story, time is of essence, and it's critical that people have what they need in order to maintain and sustain someone before EMS arrives.
Right.
We do have a queue of AEDs, so it will be a process of we receive your application, we verify the application, reach out to you, and then you will go in line for us to deliver AEDs. We do that on a monthly basis.
Okay.
This year, I believe we are aiming for a goal of 24 AEDs to be put out into the public. So again, each device that goes out, depending on where it goes, can save a large number of individuals.
And anyone can apply.
Anyone can apply. Again, that's churches, that's businesses, grassroots organizations. As a matter of fact, Kenmore Park is somewhere that we're looking to have an AED down there. Again, a community location where a lot of individuals gather to do various things. We want to make sure that the elements are there should someone need them.
Of course. And, oh, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, well, we started the foundation out of our home. Jennifer and I were working out of our home like many small businesses and small organizations. We have transitioned to an office in Fredericksburg where we do have space for training. So if you're an organization that, maybe you have a group that gets together, but you really don't have a place where you could get together for training, we can offer that service as well. But the thing we like to pride ourselves on is that we will go anywhere.
Okay.
We started in Stafford. We worked very closely with local fire and rescue and EMS, and we were a part of the team that created Virginia's first Heart Safe community.
Oh, wow.
As part of our initiative, and so we were excited about that. We've seen Heart Safe grow to not just other localities, but also Heart Safe schools, which we were also a part of, one of the first schools in Virginia to get
amazing.
Heart Safe school designation. So these are, we were trying to be a part of the community and trying to provide services, but now that we're in Fredericksburg, we're touching the larger region. We're training as far north as Loudoun and Arlington, and as far south as Richmond, and
Oh, wow.
and all the way out to Roanoke. So wherever you are in the state that you're listening to this, please know that we're here to support. We will come to you. We were recently supported. One of our board members was able to get us a trailer, so we're able to load all of our equipment and gear into one location and be able to travel to where we need to go. But all of these services are free, and the one impediment I think most people think about is, well, is it going to be an all-day training? It's not. We can do the training in as little as an hour.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we've done it in shorter periods of time if necessary, but an hour gives us a good block of time to really sort of run you through everything. So CPR, how to use a defibrillator, where the defibrillators are in your building. These are all services that we offer.
And as you pointed out, it's good to know the time frame too, because maybe a business wants to do it during their lunch hour or have a team bonding, or as you said, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, whatever that is. That's good to know because you're making it accessible for everybody. I'm speaking with Jennifer and Joel with the Gwyneth Gift Foundation. You talked about, going back for a second, the whiskey business event coming up. We got to talk about that. Let me know, what are the details? What can people learn about it if they want to get involved?
Yeah, so when we were first talking about the foundation and getting it started, we wanted to make sure that we had events that were fun and exciting, and that something that people were eager to come to.
Mm-hmm.
And so Whiskey Business has become sort of the business networking event for us. We've had tremendous support from the community about that, not only for businesses who want to sponsor and get their logo out there, but also for the networking that's offered. And so many businesses have come to the event and been able to network with people that they don't necessarily get to see. So it's something a little bit different. But Whiskey Business, the mindset is to create an experience where many of us sort of don't think of whiskey as a beverage.
Not necessarily.
Right? So we wanted to create the appreciation for that spirit. And so every year we do a different location or a different region in order to expand the horizons. And as part of that, whether it's Southern bourbon, whether it's West Coast, whether it's Scotch from Scotland, all of the regions of America, but also international. We like to cover those. And this year, we are bringing Irish whiskey through our Emerald Isle experience. I'll turn it over to Jennifer to talk about the event and all the things that we're offering there.
So yes, the event will be September 22nd. It will be at the Silk Mill. So yes, it will be here in Fredericksburg, not in Emerald Isle, North Carolina, but we are bringing the Emerald Isle of Ireland to Fredericksburg at the Silk Mill. We will be offering 3 whiskeys that will be free for tasting.
Oh, wow.
They will be paired with excellent homemade chocolates.
Ooh. You said my name with chocolate.
Yes. We have a wonderful chocolatier who specifically paired each whiskey with a different chocolate. So excellent. Can't tell you enough how tasty it is going to be. After that, we are going to be having a band. So this is going to be a little bit different of a networking event. Normally we come and network our businesses, but we're also going to network with our community behind the idea of some Irish music.
Ooh.
So we've got a band that will be bringing us together in fun, in conversation, and in music. In addition to that, of course, we're going to have an Irish menu. We are going to have an open bar. Whiskey is often paired with cigars, so we're going to have a cigar roller there who will be coming from Maryland or New Jersey. Both Maryland and New Jersey.
There you go.
Okay, so this is a great cigar individual who will be rolling the cigars there,
Oh, wow.
as well as offering them to partake of. And then, of course, you can't go to Ireland without having some Irish dancers. So
I was just about to ask you.
yes, when Gwyneth's Gift, when we do an event, we try to hit on all of the 5 senses because we want you to come and enjoy the experience, enjoy the community members, enjoy the networking, and leave having said, wow, for a few hours, I was transported from Fredericksburg to Ireland.
Wow.
through taste, smell, interaction, sound, and just general camaraderie.
Yeah,
So sign me up.
right. It's a total experience, and I think people have come to appreciate that. At Gwyneth's Gift, we try to do everything to the best of our ability, and we certainly want to represent Gwyneth well. Our team has done a bang-up job every single year of just turning out, one event that's just, better than the next. And so we're excited that, Whiskey Business is going to be one of those that, again, as Jennifer said, transports you to, out of your sort of daily routine into a different experience. And so whether you're tasting the spirits, whether you're enjoying the conversation, or whether you're listening to live music, it's just a good time overall. And this year, Whiskey Business takes on a particular special meaning for us.
Okay.
Gwyneth was an avid dancer as a child, and she just loved everything, tap, ballet, jazz. If it had a beat, she would dance to it.
Oh.
But, she found Irish dance. I think she was probably around 10 or 11 when she realized that was what she wanted to do. And I think as a normal parent, we just said, hey, you got to pick one dance. We can't fly you around all over different places, and we can only afford so many costumes, right?
Yep.
Every dance parent understands that. But she really gravitated towards Irish dance, and so it was beautiful to see her, partake. And some of the photos we have of her in our home are of her enjoying, Irish feshes and activities and dances. And so this year is going to be particularly special for us.
That's amazing. Definitely a special event. So you had me at the Irish dancing. I grew up as a dancer, so this is something for everyone too, which is what like you were saying. So how do people go? How do they sign up to go? Are they able to?
So yes, we still have tickets available.
Awesome.
And you can go to our website again, gwynethsgift.org, to purchase the tickets. It's under our news and events.
Oh, perfect.
And we have several tickets left, but they're going quickly.
Okay.
So I would encourage people to go today.
Yes.
Yeah.
To get tickets, because there are a limited number of tickets as well.
Okay.
Yeah, you can follow us on social media as well. We're on Facebook and Instagram. Our team has been posting a lot about Whiskey Business. So
Perfect.
if you find one of those links, whether it's our website, gwynethsgift.org, or whether it's one of our social media channels, you can find it. Every year, for the past 3 years, Whiskey Business has been sold out. Our Mom Prom events have been selling out. So certainly want to be able to partake of these events. Get your tickets while you can. There's also opportunities for VIP access, so you get a little teaser on the front end as well. So again, our events are about the total experience.
Right.
It's about engrossing you into that environment, and so we're happy to be a part of Fredericksburg, but the entire community is served. So please come from wherever you are and partake.
That's amazing. I'm excited to hear how successful it is this year too. You said it sells out, so I'm sure it's going to be a great time. And I'm speaking with Joel and Jennifer with Gwyneth Gift Foundation. One more question for you, and I'll have you out of here. What are your future aspirations for the foundation? You've already done a lot, but what's the future hold?
I would say for the future, what we ultimately want to do is we want to create a culture of action. We want to create communities where individuals step forward to do what they can to help others in need, specifically others who have suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. And that is through our education, our awareness, and our action, right? And so conveying that to more and more community members, I think, is what is going to change us moving forward. And ultimately, in doing that, we will increase the chances of survival from sudden cardiac arrest.
Yeah, we work hand in hand with our first responders, our fire and rescue, and police and sheriff departments. But the reality is that it's on us as individuals to support one another. And that culture of action is really instilling that idea that, the brain begins to die in 4 to 6 minutes. And if it takes first responders and in ideal situations 8 to 10 minutes to respond, the chance of that person's survival is really dependent on all of us. And that culture creates, instead of pulling out your phone and taking photos or videos for social media, take out your phone and call 911. Or have the app on your phone called Pulse Point, so it actually tells you where defibrillators are, or you have access to those in your community. Let's use our resources for the betterment of all. And we've seen our work pay off. We have seen 10 lives be saved because of someone who was either knew of Gwyneth's gift or was trained by Gwyneth's gift. And they took action. And so that's 10 people who had another birthday or had another Christmas or was able to celebrate another anniversary. And so that is the meaning of what we're doing. There's so many others, I'm sure, that have received it, but we're not concerned about, counting the victories. We're concerned about the people who go home and having a quality of life with their families. And so we can do that through achieving our culture of action mission, and that's across the Commonwealth. So if you're out there, if you're listening, if you're not in the Fredericksburg region, but you're wondering if you can, get us out there, please call us. We would love to support you. We'd love to hear from you.
A CPR can double or triple the chance of survival, and the use of an AED in conjunction with CPR just increases that even
Extra
more.
chance,
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think a lot of people are aware of Damar Hamlin, who earlier this year collapsed, and his story was one of success, and that was because someone was right there. CPR was started immediately, an AED was nearby, that was utilized immediately, and bringing all of that together in that immediacy from the moment of collapse can yield the outcome such as Damar Hamlin's. And not only is he alive and well, but he is back on the football field.
Yeah.
So again, time is critical. And we at Gwyneth's Gift, we believe that we can give 2 gifts. Obviously, one similar to Damar Hamlin's, a gift of life. But we're also reasonable, and we understand that despite best heroic efforts, the outcome might not be that of life. But at the same time, we're still going to give a gift. And that gift is going to be to the family, knowing that someone was there, someone stepped forward, and someone did something. Again, leading us to that culture of action is going to have an impact positively.
Oh my gosh.
So
I have chills from hearing you both tell your story and speak today. Thank you so much for coming in. I think it's exactly what you said. Take a step of action, educate yourselves, learn more from the Gwyneth Gift Foundation. And you can do so one more time, that website and socials that they can follow. Yeah,
it's gwynethsgift.org, or follow Gwyneth's Gift on Facebook and Twitter and
LinkedIn.
Instagram and LinkedIn.
All the socials.
All the socials.
Well, thank you both for coming in and sharing your story today. I very much appreciate it. And hopefully you have a very successful whiskey business. I know you will, but I can't wait to hear all about it as well. And let's just keep saving lives.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity today.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And that'll do it for In the Community this week. If you are a nonprofit and need to bring attention to your cause or organization, please reach out through this station's website, and we will see you next week.